Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Yes, sir, sir, can you hear me?
Assalamu alaikum, Mir Sahib ji, I can.
Assalamu alaikum, Mir Sahib. We are live.
Okay, Jazakallah, but we are still waiting for the presenters who are going to present the tilawat and I believe translations.
Ji, Mir Sahib.
Could you please notify them so we can start the program? A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear members of Montreal Jamaat, we are going to hold this general body meeting today online, a virtual meeting, for various reasons. This meeting is necessary for the process of Majlis Shura. This year, Majlis Shura is going to take place in Toronto in person, not virtual like last year. We have already done the election for our delegates. We elected 6 delegates, and the local Amir is already part of Majlis Shura. So we have total 7 members of Montreal Jamaat traveling to Majlis Shura this year on the weekend of 21st, 22nd May. This Majlis Shura will take place from Friday till Sunday, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So I request everyone to please remember, please pray for the success of Majlis Shura, which is the one of the most important institutions in our Jamaat. We will start today's program, but I want to mention that the purpose of this program is to gather any suggestions, any comments from the general body of Jamaat. All the Shura delegates are present. They are listening to the comments, and they will take note of those comments. And when they go to Majlis Shura, when they sit in subcommittees, or even when they don't sit in subcommittees, they will carry these comments and these suggestions, these notes with them, and they will be able to communicate some of the ideas in the Majlis Shura. So this is the whole purpose. And I request the Shura elected delegates to please pay full attention to this program. I will let either General Secretary Saab or a team or Faraz Saab explain the process of submitting the comments, but we will start the program with the recitation of the Holy Quran. So I request respected Munib Ahmed Saab to kindly do the recitation.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فبما رحمة من الله لنت لهم ولو كنت فظا غليظ القلب لانفضوا من حولك فاعف عنهم واستغفر لهم وشاورهم في الأمر وإذا عزمت فتوكل على الله إن الله يحب المتوكلين. جزاك الله.
Jazakumullah ahsan jazak. The translations were supposed to be presented by Tosif Ahmed Sahab. I don't see him in the list of presenters. Munib Sahab, Tosif Sahab. Ji Tosif Sahab, please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
English translation, chapter 3, verse 160. I seek refuge with Allah from Satan, the accursed, in the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful. And it is by the great mercy of Allah that thou art kind towards them. And if thou hadst been rough and hard-hearted, they would surely have dispersed from around thee. So pardon them and ask forgiveness for them, and consult them in matters of administration. And when thou art determined, then put thy trust in Allah. Surely Allah loves those who put their trust in Him. Traduction française, chapitre 3, verset 160. Je cherche refuge auprès d'Allah contre Satan le rejeté. Au nom d'Allah, le gracieux, le miséricordieux. Et c'est grâce à la miséricorde spéciale d'Allah que tu es bienveillant envers eux. Car si tu avais été sévère et avais un cœur dur, il est certain qu'ils se seraient dispersés de ton entourage. Pardonne-leur donc et prie Allah pour leur pardon et consulte-les dans des affaires importantes. Et puis une fois que tu t'es décidé, alors mets ta confiance en Allah. Assurément, Allah aime ceux qui lui font confiance. Jazakallah.
Jazakumullah ahsan jazak. So, according to the program, we are now supposed to present the approved proposals. I want to mention something here that the process of Majlis Shura is that the proposals are gathered from across Canada. पूरे मुल्क से proposals इकट्ठे किए जाते हैं, and then those proposals that are sent by the membership from Canada Jamaat to National Markaz, they go through a vetting process. Vetting process means that they're analyzed. Is this just an administrative matter which requires just a memo or an instruction? Then we don't need to discuss those in Majlis Shura. But if it is not, and if it is more than that, then it is considered, and then it goes to National Majlis Amla, and after multiple steps, it is presented to Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Ayyadullah Ta'ala bin Nasl Aziz for his final approval. Huzur sometimes approves the proposals to be considered as Majlis Shura agenda. Sometimes Huzur disapproves those, and sometimes Huzur modifies the proposal to define the scope of that proposal. Once it is approved by Huzur, then it becomes the official agenda of Majlis Shura. That means we may have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or even more proposals in Majlis Shura, and that means we will have as many subcommittees made in Majlis Shura, and those subcommittees are made of all the members that are elected and they're part of Majlis Shura, and then they discuss on those proposals. They come back with some recommendations, and then an open discussion happens in Majlis Shura, and then the final recommendations again go to Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Ayyadullah Ta'ala bin Nasl Aziz. Huzur either approves or disapproves or modifies them, defines a scope, and once it is approved by Huzur, it becomes an instruction of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih. It is no longer just a Shura recommendation or Shura proposal. So this is the whole gist of the process. We are at a stage where these proposals have been gathered and have been approved as agenda items for Majlis Shura, and I request Qamar Suleiman Sahab to please read those approved proposals so members can be aware of that.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mr. Should I share my... Okay. So we're not supposed to mention the proposal number 1? Okay. can start with proposal number 2, helping Ahmadi refugees. This was presented for Department of Umar by National Majlis Amla. I will read it out. With the approvals of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Khamis, may Allah Ta'ala be his helper, the Refugee Sponsorship and Settlement Desk was formed in May 2021 at the national level to assist Canada Jamaat members in the formation of groups and preparation of applications under the private sponsorship of refugees program. Majlis-e-Shura is requested to provide ways and means on how to create awareness and empathy in the members of Jamaat for this initiative. Refugee Sponsorship and Settlement Desk is also requesting to allocate funds in the next national budget to sponsor the refugee families from the third country. A third country is the one where a refugee is temporarily staying away from their home country like Malaysia, Thailand, etc.
You can continue, Sadr Saab.
So can we switch to the next proposal? Jazakallah. Proposal number 3. This is for the Department of Tarbiyat. This was sent by Calgary Jamaat to inculcate the love of Islam, Ahmadiyyat, and the institution of Khilafat. By the grace of Allah, our Jamaat is growing rapidly, but unfortunately, we're observing an increasing number of Tarbiyat issues. Hence, a need to review our current routine Tarbiyat services and plan an effective approach, especially focusing on our younger generations to inculcate the love of Islam, Ahmadiyyat, and institution of Khilafat in them. Majlis-e-Shura is requested to recommend ways and means to make our Tarbiyat department more productive to achieve the above objectives. Proposal number 4 is also for Department of Tarbiyat, sent by Bradford Jamaat. The title is Growing Impact of Technology and Social Media on Children. The growing impact of technology and social media on children has increased manifold in recent past. Young parents are increasingly relying on TV, mobile phones, and computers to appease their children. These devices are proving to be more harmful, especially for young children. Youngsters who have grown up with these gadgets are not necessarily well versed with the negative impacts of these devices. Majlis-e-Shura is requested to find ways and means that the Jamaat can undertake to assist youngsters who are now becoming parents themselves in the upbringing of their children so that they are not exposed to negative impacts of these devices and are able to raise their children while adhering to Islamic values. Jazakallah. Proposal number 5 for Department of Rishta Nata. This was sent by Brampton East to improve Rishta Nata department to help and serve the youth of the Jamaat. It is often seen that the youth who are at the age of marriage are not inclined to utilize the Jamaat Rishta Nata department. Generally, it is observed that the youth have some reservations of benefiting from the services provided by the Rishta Nata department. Young people feel that the current services provided by the department are not effective unless someone is desperate or has no other option of getting married themselves. Majlis-e-Shura is requested to suggest new ideas on how to make the Rishta Nata department more appealing to better serve the youth of Canada.
Jazakallah. The proposal number 1 is, as usual, the annual budget, the expense budget of Canada Jamaat, and there's no detail of that budget. At this stage, the budget is presented in Majlis-e-Shura and it is only limited to the Shura delegates. And it is discussed within Majlis-e-Shura and proposed over there. So we don't have any discussion there, but we can still have comments if there are any comments regarding the budget, if someone has that. So now this is the approved agenda. That means these are the 5 or plus budget 6 proposals on which Majlis-e-Shura delegates will be discussing and paying attention to, discussing and making their recommendations. However, this is the time for general body to make their comments and suggestions so that we can carry those comments and suggestions with us when we go to Majlis Shura next weekend. Either General Secretary Saab's team or audio video team, if we can explain the process to our members, how can they comment and how can they submit their suggestions?
Yes, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Waalaikum
Mr. For the comments and suggestions, the website is amjmontreal.ca/gbm. Their members will be able to see the link to submit, and when they will click on the link, if you can please go to the link, there they will have the opportunity to select the proposal for which they are submitting their comment on, and then choose their halqa and write down fill in the detail and write in the comment so that we can record it as well.
Okay, so members can click on this link. They can submit their comments, and we will have all the comments with the person who is submitting those, and we will gather those.
Jimmy, sir.
And what is the process of, are we supposed to present those here at the end, or can we just take the notes at the end and we can compile them?
Jimmy, sir, the comments were mostly for Shura members to keep in mind while representing the local Jamaat over to the during the Majlis Shura itself. So these comments will be combined together and provided to the whole Shura delegates, all Shura delegates.
But my question is that during this general body meeting, are we going to present those comments here, or are we just going to compile them at the end? And because there is no more agenda items right now in general body meeting.
So we can actually present as the comments come in, we can show them on the screen. But I think it will take some time for people to put in the comments. So there may be a bit of delay for us to show them on the screen. And
okay,
in the meantime, maybe we can ask.
Okay, there is another way of submitting your comment. If you cannot, if you don't have access to, for example, a browser, if you don't know how to use this, you can always record a voice message on your phone and send it to your Halka General Secretary Sahab or Sadr Sahab Halka, and he will pass those on to us, and we will keep those comments with us, and we will listen to those. मैं उर्दू में भी कुछ इसकी वजाहत कर देता हूँ कि ये जो वेबसाइट आपके सामने लिखी आ रही है amjmontreal.ca/gbm, अगर आप इस पे क्लिक करेंगे, आप अभी तो नहीं क्लिक कर सकते क्योंकि ये एक तस्वीर है, लेकिन ये लिंक आपको टाइप करना पड़ेगा अपने ब्राउजर में। तो अगर आप ऐसा करेंगे तो वो पेज खुल जाएगा जिसमें आप जाके अपना कमेंट टाइप कर सकते हैं, लेकिन चूंकि टाइपिंग जो होती है वो हर कोई नहीं जानता, मसलन उर्दू या इंग्लिश टाइपिंग करना। तो अगर आपको इसमें मुश्किल है तो आप अपना एक ऑडियो मैसेज रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हैं, जैसे कि व्हाट्सएप के ऊपर, और आप वो अपने हल्का के जनरल सेक्रेटरी साहब या अपने सदर साहब हल्का को भेज सकते हैं। उसमें लिख दें कि ये मेरा मशवरा है, जो भी 5 प्रपोजल आपके सामने पड़े गए थे उनमें से किसी भी प्रपोजल के मुतालिक अगर आपका कोई कमेंट है तो वो आप उनको भेज दें। वो उनसे मेरी दरख्वास्त होगी जनरल सेक्रेटरी से और सदरान हल्का से कि ऐसा अगर कमेंट आपको कोई मौसूल हो तो वो फ़ौरन मुझे भेज दें, ताकि हम फिर उसको जो भी जो हमारे मुतलका डेलीगेट्स हैं उनके साथ हम शेयर कर सकें, और जो भी उसको उसके मुतलका सब कमेटी में जाएंगे या उस फोरम पे होंगे तो उसको ज़हन में रख सकें। Ifra sab, are we supposed to wait for a certain period of time before we start receiving any comments, or have we received any comments yet?
As of now, there are no comments yet.
Okay, we have one comment received from a member who said that we should have measurable goals for each Shura proposal. So normally the process is that when subcommittees are formed, the entire Canada Jamaat, all local Amarat and Jamaats, they have elected their delegates. And usually 30 to 35 of such delegates are sitting in each subcommittee separately. They have separate locations. And they start discussing even every single word of the proposal. They very carefully go through the proposal. They always try to figure out what is the purpose, what is the objective behind this Shura proposal. And then they also try to come up with very few actionable items or actionable recommendations. Also, they try to make them measurable in the sense that this Shura, this Majlis Shura is valid until the next Majlis Shura try to figure out is elected. So I'm listening to myself again. Okay. So this Majlis Shura is the Majlis Shura for a year, usually. And during that year, all these recommendations need to be implemented. And this is the reason why the Shura recommendations are always few and actionable and very precise. So this is already considered, but we'll keep that in mind. Gee, what is the comment via form, Google form, Bakasab?
Mr. Fraz Saab will read it.
Ji Firaz Sahab.
Ji Mirsab, there is a there's a suggestion. They said instead of just getting, this is regarding proposal number 2, and a suggestion is by Qamar Sulman Sahab, is stating that instead of just getting any refugees, preference could be given to members who are well educated and also well connected with the system of Jamaat. It has been observed that once the refugees get settled in Canada, they are not eager to actively participate in Jamaat activities.
Jazakallah. Well, the process of refugee is refugees are basically selected by the by different departments in the government and UN. The Jamaat does not have any direct say in who can apply for a refugee application. And also in this proposal, if you pay attention to it, there are people who want to sponsor a family or a refugee. So if they have, for example, a relative who is living in a third country for a long time and they're suffering, they want to sponsor them so that they can come to Canada and start living a normal life again. It is their preference who they want to sponsor. But your suggestion should be conveyed to whoever sits in that committee. So
there's no more, no other.
So if there are any other comments, any other suggestions, this general body meeting can end, but we still have a few days before we go for Majlis Shura. And I humbly invite all membership, whoever is listening to this program, and my humble request is that please feel free to give us your ideas and your comments. And if you need to know more about these proposals, please talk to your Halka General Secretary Sahab or one of the Shura delegates. I can quickly name the Shura delegates who are going to Majlis Shura this year. We have 3 of them present in this meeting. Faraz Ahmed Saab is a delegate. Qamar Suleiman Saab, Sadr Halka Montreal Center is a delegate. We have Munib Ahmed Saab, Qaid Majlis Montreal West, he's a delegate. We have Tosif Ahmed Saab, he's from Halka Montreal West, he's a delegate. We have Sajil Ahmed Saab, Qaid Majlis Montreal Center, he's a delegate. And we have Latif Ahmed Saab, Secretary Mal, Halka Montreal West, and Secretary Muriama Imarat, he's also an elected delegate. So you can contact any of them and you can convey your comments to them, or you can send those to me, or you can submit your comments through this Google form, mjmontreal.ca/gpm. So if there are no other comments to share at this point, we will finish this general body meeting now, and inshallah we will keep an eye on the comments. So Jazakallah, Ahsan Jaza. This general body meeting now ends. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.